Good morning, guys. So in this one, I'm just going to show you how to set up a level. We're going to go through and we're going to create a level from start to finish. So let's just crack right into it because this would be a fun one, I think. So to get started, just go into your actually, you know what? Let's go open level and open up the L1 that we created because we might as well use this since we've already got it and it's already hooked up to a portal. So let's leave that there for now. Our player is going to spawn not at the player start, but at 0, 0, 100, so we can remove the player start. They'll spawn right in the center like that. I suppose we could leave the player start. Can I? No, I can't undo. That's alright. But we know that they're going to spawn right in the center there like that, so we can build our level around that. So the first thing that I might do is just change the scale of this floor to 1, like that. And I'm just going to change the material to basic floor, just like that. Now up in this world outliner up here, I'm going to get rid of this sphere reflection thing. And I think I'll leave the rest. So that's all that we're going to have for now. What I might put in is I might show you how to add some music really quick. So if you go into your content browser and go into Checkpoint, I'm gonna post a link to a bunch of resources that I've used in this video. I've used throughout this series. It's basically just a bunch of different sounds, and so like there's this one here, which is the sound when the proximity turret saw you. There's the laser sound that we've used for the launch pads and various pickup sounds as well. I've also got a bunch of different songs down here. Now, feel free to use these in your games however you want. This is stuff that I've personally made for my games. Just go ahead. Like I don't care if you give me credit or whatever. It doesn't really matter. But they're all the same versions of the same song. They're all go for the same length and they're all looping, so they're loopable. But the ones at 0, 0, 0 are very basic, and then they slowly amp up and more instruments get added as you go up to 7. So the way that you could use this in your game is you could have maybe 7 different levels or 8 different levels, and the song gets more and more intense for each different level. So anyway, with all that said, go into your checkpoint folder and go new folder and just call this sounds, I guess. You'll probably already have most of these sounds if you've watched the tutorials, but just put all of this in here anyway because we're going to be using the music. So the way you do that is you just highlight all of these like that and then just drag that in. Boom. And now we've got sound waves for all of them, and just save them all. Beautiful. Now if you open not all of them, you want to get all these songs, so shift click to get all of them, and then if you hit enter to open all of them up, there should be a looping. Yeah, here we go, looping. You want to make sure that they're all looping. That's the music. So if I were to add one of these in the world, this is the most basic one. I wonder if that'll autoplay. Let's just see. Yeah, beautiful. I wonder if you can hear that. So that's the song. That's literally just going to loop like that forever. Cool. So that's a good one for a very basic level, and then obviously it just progresses, and here's like the final one. Same sort of deal. Anyway, again, just use that however you want. So let's create this level. So let's just get this started. So say this is level 1. You want this to be really simple. You kind of want to teach the player how they go about playing the game. So let's just grab our let me find where everything is. So we used procedural generation. We had a tutorial about procedural generation. So let's just change our snapping up here to say 100. Turn the snapping on. Drag in the procedural floor like that. Snap that right to the edge. Now let's just scale this out like this or something. So what we're going to do is we're going to add a path. Put that flush to the edge like that. You don't have to copy me, by the way. This is just me showing you how I'd go about creating a level. So I might create a path out like this. Super basic. And then what I might do is I might teach the player how to platform, you know. So maybe we'll have a jump that's like, I don't know, that long. And we'll change this platform to that size. So this is going to be teaching the player how to jump. Just like that. and then over here we're going to go this way. Now, something that we need to add in is a fall volume. So we need the fall volume to kill the player when they fall off the map. So if we go into checkpoint, drag in fall volume like that. Now, if you hit Alt and then J, perhaps? Does that look like it's viewing it from the top? Yeah, it is. So that's where we start over there. Now here is the platforming bit. We need to make sure that this is always covering the whole map. So change your Z value down here to something like -1000. But before you do that, go into your world settings and just check the kill Z. You want to make sure that this is a lot lower than whatever this is, because we want this to trigger before the world actually kills the player. So change that to -1000, and then let's just change the box extent to make sure that it covers up the whole map. So we don't know how big this is going to be yet, but let's just make it really big. Just something like that, you know. Okay, there we go, something like that. And let's just go Alt G to come back, and that's definitely lower than the map, so that's good. And we might just add some Z to it as well, so we'll go like 500 on the Z. So let's just check that that works, and you don't want the player to be falling too far either. So let's check. I'd say that's pretty good. Alright, so this is our beginning platforming challenge. That's pretty good. Nice gaps. Alright, and then we've got this bit up here like that. So what we might do up here now is we might just teach the player that Jack Skellington is bad. So to do that, what we're going to do is we're going to change this to perhaps a 3x3 or something. And we might just put it over on this side like that. Or maybe a 4x4. That looks a bit too small. 4x4. There was a tutorial for this procedural floor, by the way, in case you're wondering where the hell this came from and what I'm doing here. It's one of the earlier ones in the series, so if you don't have this, go ahead and watch that. It's a friggin' brilliant way to build really quick levels like this. How are we going for time? 7 minutes, beautiful. So let's add in Jack Skellington right here like that. And now Jack Skellington needs a nav mesh like this, so we're going to type in nav mesh bounds volume. Put that in, press P so that you can see where that's actually affecting, and then we're going to change the scale of this to something like that. So this is where Jack can go. Alright, now we're going to also add a way out of this little square arena thing over here, just like that. And you've got to get over here without Jack knocking you off the stage, which will be super easy because he moves so freaking slow. But before we get to that, actually, let's just add in a checkpoint. So we can add this in right here. Now see, if I want to get that in the center, I'm going to have to put the snapping to 100. And now that's dead center like that. Snapping to 50, sorry, and now I'll just change that back to 100. Now this is also through the floor. So if I turn the snapping off, and then just drag that up just a little bit, that looks nice just like that. Alright, so we're in the map. Since we've already tested this jumping bit, I thought I'd put that checkpoint in, because now when we walk over that checkpoint, we'll automatically start from there. Game saved. Beautiful. And here we go, Jack Skellington's coming after us. Which is super easy to get away from, but if he hits ya... Goodbye. And now when we respawn, back at the checkpoint. Oh man. Okay, so that's cool. Did we have a variable to change his speed? Yeah, move speed down there, that's good. We're going to be needing that because we're going to want to make him a lot faster later on. And if you wanted to create like tiers of him, for example, you could also just change the material of his mesh and just change it to something more vicious each time that you change his tier, change his speed. Okay, so that's a Jack Skellington. Let's, you know what we might do? Oops, turn your snapping back on up here. So let's drag this out like that. I'm gonna rotate you. Oops, change the snapping on the rotation to 45 or 90 even if you wanted to. I'm gonna add this out like this, and then off of here, I'm gonna add another 4x4, just like that. And I might put this one roughly in the center, something like that. Maybe across a few. Yeah, something like that. That looks good. And then I'm just going to have a little exit over here, and then I'm going to grab Jack Skellington and that nav mesh, if I can click on it. Beautiful. And I'm going to duplicate that by holding Alt and dragging the axis, and then adding this out here. But this time, instead of just having one old Jack Skellington, we're going to have 2, or maybe even 3. Evil laugh. Now let's add that checkpoint down in there like that. Change your snapping to 50. Actually, you know what? Just so we don't have to change the snapping and that every time, go into your checkpoint BP. And if you go to your viewport, and you grab your overlap and attach that to your disk, and then grab your disk and then set the Z on that to like 10. I've got a feeling the width of this will be 10 because it's usually 100 high, and we've changed that to 0.1, so that should be 10 units high. And by changing the Z to 10, this should now sit above the ground like that. So, alright, look at that, beautiful. Now that's perfectly above the ground. So if I were to now move that across by 50 and 50, that's dead in the center. Yeah, beautiful, just like that. So now we'll need to go back and change this one though, because this one might be a bit too high now. So if I change the Z on that to 0, beautiful, just like that, flush with the ground. Alright, so let's go check how this is going. We've got one Jack Skellington here, easy as hell to dodge. Get to this next checkpoint. Now we've got 3 Jack Skellingtons, a little bit trickier, but still seriously easy, way too easy. Okay, beautiful. And we've got some errors. Let's have a look at what's going on with those errors. Alright, let's crack open that event graph. Let's have a look. Simple chaser BP event graph on the AI move to. So I think it could be because the player character wasn't valid for some reason. Is that what it said? Yeah, get player value, access none trying to read property, blah blah blah, get player character. So what we want to do here is just drag this out like this, just to stop this error from popping up, even though it won't really hurt the game. But you'll think that you want to just minimize that little pop-up window in the bottom corner, because every time that comes up you're going to click on it and it's just going to waste your time. So if you just go is valid like this, if the player character is valid, go ahead and do the move to. If it's not valid, just wait and then just continue with the logic. That should be fine. Okay, so that's all good. Now over here, I might just show you how to create a tier of this simple chaser BP. So let's just create a new folder in here, and then let's call this simple chasers. And grab the face material, and the simple chaser, and then pop them all in there. Alright, crack that open, double click your simple chaser. Actually, don't do that. Instead, right click your simple chaser and go create blueprint class, and just call this simple chaser child 01. Then duplicate him, that'll be simple chaser child 02, and then this will be simple chaser child 03. Okay, so we've got 3 tiers. Open up tier 1, just like that. And here we're going to give him some presets. So if you go up to this thing up here, we've got a launch velocity. We can set that to whatever we want. Since this is tier 1, let's just leave this as it is, because we already had some pretty good values in there. So what we'd go ahead and do now is we'd probably want to change all of these to tier 1 instead of them being the parent. So let's just add in tier 1, even though it's exactly the same. Let's just be consistent, you know. So we'll delete this guy over here as well and add in a tier 1, just like that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to crack open tier 2, child tier 2, and open the full blueprint editor just so we can see what he looks like and things like that. Click on simple chaser, blah 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 at the top. Now let's make this guy launch you a bit further. Let's make him also get triggered in a larger radius by default. 1500, even though that's a public variable and you can change that however you want. And let's change his move speed to maybe 350, so he's significantly faster. And now let's go to his mesh, and sorry, not his mesh, his static mesh, and we're going to give him a different material. So I'm just going to show you a real sketchy trick that you can do to create quick variations of the same material for really basic games. So if we grab this texture sample, which is his face, and then we just go left click and holding M, you should be able to just go like that, hook that up into A, hold 3 and left click for a 3 vector, hook that up into B, and then hook that up into base color. And then if you convert this to a parameter, the 3 vector, and just call that color like that, what would happen if I were to change that? If I were to change that to white, he should look the same, I think. But we can change that to give him like a tinge of red or green or like something like that, just to indicate to the player that he's different each time, you know? So just give that a sec while it saves. My computer doesn't like materials. Alright, that looks pretty much the same. So now if I were to right click him and say create material instance, this can be instance 01, and then I'll duplicate that for instance 02, and then duplicate that for instance 03. And to duplicate it, by the way, you just hit Control and then W. In most programs that'll close the window, but in Unreal Engine that duplicates stuff for some reason. Now let's change the color of this one. Actually no, let's not do that. Let's leave the instance 1 just as it is. Let's change the color of instance 2 to say, what's a more angry looking color? Maybe like yellow. So now he's going to be yellow. Okay, that's cool. And now let's change 3 to something even angrier again. So maybe that can be like an orange. Yeah, like that. And then if we had a 4th one, maybe we can make this one like red. So you know that Jack really means business when he's red. Okay, so let's change the material of the static mesh on 2 to face matte instance 2. So here's a yellow one, like that. And then if we duplicate child 3, create a 4th, and then let's open up number 3. Open the full blueprint editor. Click on the static mesh, change his material to 3, like that. And we also want to click up here on the top and then change his launch velocity to maybe 1250. Leave the chase trigger radius, and his movement speed this time can be perhaps 500. So the play movement is 600, so you're still faster than him, but only just. We can close him down now, and then let's change number 4, and let's make this guy just insanely strong. So if this guy catches you, you are like dead. He's going to send you flying across the entire map. There we go, let's make him red. Geez, that looks scary. Go up here, change his launch velocity to like 2,500. And his movement speed could be like, maybe it can be 650, so he's faster than you. But it's not that much faster. Maybe we'll go 700. Maybe you could even make another tier above this if you wanted. But it's up to you. Now, just a warning. The player could use this launch velocity to cheat and send them flying over the entire map. But if they do that, then, you know, props to them, because that'd be hard. So let's just test that these guys are all working properly still. Yeah, they look fine. And if we get hit, yeah, good. So by the player cheating, if the player were to like jump on him like that, and he had a really high launch velocity, you could get sent flying across the entire map. So I'll show you what that'd look like. So if we just drag this out here like this, let's set that snapping to 100 again. Let's grab another nav mesh. So if we just grab this last one that we created and then alt drag, we can copy that out like that, and just press P so you can see where it's affecting. And what if we just add in this red guy for a laugh? We'll remove him from the actual game, but let's just spawn in, jumping through there. This is going to be terrifying. Yeah, you see what I mean? So you could use him to cheat, but maybe we should just tone down his launch velocity just a little bit. So maybe like 1,750. I can't remember what the last guy was. Let's have a quick look. 1,250, that should be okay. Alright, that's enough with Jack Skellington. Let's just add in maybe this number 2 here for this one. And what we might also do is just change the size of this to 3 and 3, so it's a little bit smaller and you've got less room to run. Just like that. Okay, so that's how you use these chasers. Now let's make this a little bit more difficult. Actually, before we make it more difficult, let's introduce a new enemy. That doesn't seem to be flush anymore. What's happened here? Maybe it's because Let's just delete that for a sec, and then let's drag out this one over here. It didn't look like it was snapped up to the edge, so we'll change you to, what was it, 2x2? 3x3. 3x3, just like that. So let's show you how to use those the proximity turrets that we created. So if we have a long little thing like this, actually, you know what? We won't have it a long one like that. What we'll do is we'll make some more platforms. Make a couple of platforms like this. Maybe we'll zigzag them or something. So like that, out there like that. Another one out here like this, and then maybe out here like this, and then out like that, and then that can be going to the next part. Okay, and what we're going to put in here is, if I drag this out like this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold Alt and move that up like that, and I'm also going to do the same with this one over here. Hold Alt and move that up like that, and then just drag this over like that. And I might just select both of those and just move them down just a little bit like this, just so it's a little bit guarded off. And then we're going to go into proximity turret. This is one of the ones that we created in one of the earlier tutorials as well, and we're going to add in child 1 just like that, sit him right there, and you'll see his activation radius around him. We just want to scale that up just a little bit so that he will affect all of those platforms just there. So if we were to also add in another checkpoint, so we'll just click that checkpoint over there and drag that all the way over here like this. So once you get past Jack over here, you're safe. And maybe let's just change Jack's radius a little bit to something a little bit less, so that when you spawn in there, he's not going to instantly start chasing you. Alright, let's hit play. Now where are we? We're going this way. Alright. God, that's so difficult. Can we get past Jack? Yes, we can. Oh, he's fast. Alright, here we go. So now we got this guy. And if he hits you with this, you get bounced. See, that's mad. Oh my god, he nearly got me. Okay. So this is a little bit of pressure because he's shooting at you while you're trying to platform. Woo! Okay. Beautiful. That wasn't too bad. Alright, now what if I were to, say, copy all of these like this, and just alt drag them out like that, and then how am I gonna rotate this? Maybe something like this. There's a speed level design right here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab all of this like this, and then I'm going to alt drag him over here as well. I'm going to rotate him so he's like that, put him in basically the same position as the last guy was relative to the platforms. But what I'm also going to do is I'm going to add a second one in, and he's going to be there like that. And just to guard him off a bit, I might just copy that wall over there like that. Okay, how are we going for time? I should probably wrap this up pretty soon. 23 minutes, Jesus. Alright. Okay, I'll just get through the rest of the actors that we created, and we'll move on to the next video. Okay, so that's all good like that. Let's add a checkpoint over here. This is a really long level 1, but, you know, it's alright. I don't think I'll make too many more levels. I might make maybe one in the next video, but this is just to show you how to use everything more or less, and then you can just create as many levels as you want, however you want. Alright, so let's see what else we need to use. We haven't used our pickup just yet, I don't think. So where's our pickup BP? It's not in there. Pickup, where are you? Great, we don't even have a save. No, it was in the launchpad one, wasn't it? Launchpad. Yeah, here we go. And then we had pad activator. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. So what we could do we're going to have a new platform way over here. It's like a 4x4, like this. Nice and big one. And we're going to have a launch pad right here. That is going to... That's not quite sitting flush with the ground. So what we might do for that is we'll just open this up, go to the viewport, click on the box and attach that to the static mesh, and then let's move the static mesh up by 10, just like that. And then I think we can close that down now, and now that's perfect on the ground by the look of it. That looks nice. Okay, now it's not in the center though, we'll need to move that over by 50. Just like that, and now it should be dead centered. Let's change the launch Z here. Let's actually change the default of that, because 500 is pathetic. That's even less than your actual jump. Let's change that to 1500 as the default. Okay, and the color is going to be, let's see, by default it's black. Let's just make the color whatever. What is it? I think it randomly selected a color anyway, didn't it? Does it randomly select a color? Oops. Let's hit simulate. Yeah, it does. So why is that color even public? Let's just make that not public. Set random color. Is that in the construction script? No, we set the color to black there. And then, yeah, okay. That's all good. And we don't want this guy to start active just yet. Oh no, we'll start him active because we want to test him. But, oh god, I don't want to go all the way across there. I suppose I have to. Bear with me. And admire my extreme platforming skills. So let's test this bit actually, that's a good idea. Oh man, this is bloody intimidating. Okay, we got to the next checkpoint. Now let's see if this will actually get us over. Not quite. Okay, so let's make that a little bit larger, maybe 1750 like that. And let's move you over a little bit this way. Something like that. And you know what we could do actually, to make this more interesting, is let's grab... where was the last nav mesh that we made? So if we search up in here and say nav mesh, and then shift click or control click old mate Jack, alt drag, put him over here like this. So when you land on this platform over here, you've instantly got this bloke to worry about. And if I were to just press P, yep, that looks good. And we might drag this over here like that, and just create a little exit over here. And we'll grab our checkpoint and we'll put that over here like this as well. Alright, let's hit play. Let's see if this will actually get us all the way over. Beautiful. Just. So let's make that a little bit further actually. Change you to maybe 2200. Okay, now that works. Now let's change this to start inactive, like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to add a little branching path off here, like this. And over here is we're going to have our pad activator right at the end, like that. And to put that in the center, change the snapping to 50, just like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this bloke and his little platform, change the snapping back to 100, alt drag, and these guys are going to be guarding this, just like that. Okay, now before we do that actually, we just need to click on this and launch pad to activate. We want to click our little eyedropper down there, and we're going to click on this launch pad BP2, just like that. Okay, now let's test this out. So, that's inactive at the moment. Player sees the shiny thing over here, and the two scary guys. Jeez, that was difficult. Alright. And if we fast fall, beautiful. Cool. Game saved. Okay, so that's how the launch pad works. You can use that in a bunch of different scenarios. Like, for example, you could have like a grid of different platforms. Like if any of you have ever played Undertale, there's a bit in the what do you call it, Firelands or Hotlands or whatever it was, and there was a bunch of different like launching platform things across like different pillars. You could have like a little section like this with a launch pad in the center like that. You know what, I'm just going to create it really quick, just a basic version. So if I then click on that and I go Control G to group, that one can go right there like that, and I'm going to set my snapping back to 100, and let me just check how far that'll launch you, just so I've got an idea for when I build the next couple. Okay, something like that. So maybe I might just, if you hold Shift G to ungroup, I might just tone that down to maybe like 1000, and then I'll regroup it. And then let's just see if I can make it to that one over there. But basically what you want to do is you want to have, maybe these can be like 2 by 2, so they're a little bit bigger. And then we'll go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 back. 1, 2, it's a little bit off center. And that's probably because we want this to be down like that. Does that look in the center to you? Not quite. Maybe there. That looks pretty centered to me. So if I group those again like that, let's hit play. Yeah, so you jump over to this platform, and then from here maybe you can have like a bunch of other platforms. So let me just see how far this is. So if I change my snapping to 1000, I wonder if I could make it across there like that. Maybe not. Maybe if I just drag him back like 500. Yeah, that seems to be alright. So if we go 500 up that way like that, 500 up that way like that, maybe a 500 out that way like that as well. Now you've got like a little launch pad system thing. And I might just add another one out like this, and then I will ungroup that by holding Shift G, and then we are going to extend you out like this. And then we might just add the finish over here, because I think I should wrap this up because this is getting really long. So we're going to make that a really big platform at the end here like that, and then we are going to go to checkpoint and level end like that. Now level, we changed our checkpoint BP to be above the ground. Let's do the same with level end. So go into the viewport, just grab your overlap and parent, attach that to your static mesh, and just grab the static mesh and change that to just 10 high, like that. The rest can just stay where it is. Okay, that's looking good. Alright, so that's the finish, and the level to unlock when the player overlaps it is going to be level 2. So this is going to be level 1, you want to make sure that you unlock level 2 after that. Alrighty guys, that's a basic level. Have we used everything? Is that all of our enemies? What's spinner? Oh yeah, we didn't use the spinner thing. Maybe we can use that in here. So let's just plonk that in here like this. You know what, this would be a good challenge. Let's put this right in the center like this. We'll give him a little platform in a sec so he's not floating in the middle of nowhere. Actually, you know what? Let's just put him on one of these so that I can get the height right. So that looks pretty good. And then what I'll do is I'll drag him out like that. And then I'll ungroup this, copy the platform, make that a 1 by 1. Put that in the center like that. And then let's change the snapping to 50. And there we go, that looks pretty good. Now let's change his length. So his cylinder scale, or maybe we'll change the Z to like 20, 30, maybe 30, that looks pretty good to me. And that spin rate, I think should be okay. So let's give that a try. So check. Oh my god, that is going to be so hard. Alright, we died. That's alright. So here would be a good chance for you to use your fast fall, your C button. So if I... Oh god. Ah! Alright, one more time. I think I might have made this too hard. Okay. Oh. Yo. Okay. Ah! Jesus! Okay. Let's slow him down a bit. Maybe 0.1 spin rate. Because this is level 1 after all, you know. Okay, that looks a bit more achievable. So I should be able to jump over that one. Oh god. Okay, there we go. Ah! And then if I go over like this. Okay, so far so good. Oh no! Alright, we're okay. Beautiful. Check that out. I'm the best in the world at this game right now. And there's the finish. Okay. Oh, we had a new spinner BP. Now, I can't remember what the difference was. I think this one seems to be working fine. Anyway, if you wanted to, you could add one of them, duplicate this over here like this. And, let's rotate you on the 90 like that. I remember we set this up. So let's change the scale to maybe 20 or 10 even. Yeah, let's change the scale to 10. And make you like that. And we could add a little block for him, so we'll rotate this up by 90 as well. Change the size to 1 and 1. Just put him in there like that. That's going to be quite difficult to get over, I believe. So let's just move him down like that, and then let's change the scale of this to maybe 20 again. Yeah, so that'll be a nice little challenge. Oh my god, I don't want to have to do that challenge again. You know what, if you ever want to just override your checkpoint, here's what you can do. It's a bit of a workaround, but go to the third person character. Now, where we had our... Where's begin play at? Begin play, does save game exist, load checkpoint, set actor transform. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to just... Oh no, you're going to leave that like that, but we're not going to do that. Okay? And now if I set this to current camera location, boom. Yeah, that wasn't too bad. Might have been too easy actually. Let's change you to 0.25. Okay. Oh, that's definitely harder. Alright, let's see if we can time this. Yo. Easy. Okay, so just before I forget, I'm going to hook that back up. Just like that. Actually, you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm going to leave that unhooked just for a while. Because we just want to check some other stuff. Have we used everything? Because I want to show you how to use everything. We've definitely used the proximity turret. We've used the spinning thing. In the checkpoint folder, we used our little chasing thing. Okay, I think that's all good. So then when you get this guy will take you back to the hub and we'll unlock the next level for you. So let's... No, we don't need a checkpoint down there because you're about to finish the level. What I might just do is just in the level blueprint, I'm just going to add a little thing that'll let me skip this level to... So if I go begin play and I say delay 5 seconds, set actor location. Sorry. What I'm doing this for is I'm just gonna test the whole game right from the main menu and see that this level works. Can I get the player character or what? Yeah, there we go. Let me just set this up and I'll explain what I'm doing. So I'm gonna say get actor location. Set actor location rather. And where we're gonna set the actor location is... what's the location of this? Copy that, and maybe minus off 500 on the... So 19,000 and 11,000. And that should put us next to the end. next to the end, like over here somewhere. Let me just check that that works. So we're in, wait 5 seconds. Oh, and we're through the floor. Okay, so that was the problem that you'd run into if you didn't update your checkpoint to 200. You know how we had that little discussion in the last tutorial, if you remember. Wait 5 seconds. Beautiful. So now we can test all of this. Okay, so the reason that I just quickly added that in is because what we're going to do now is we're going to go right from the main menu and we're going to load into this level, beat the level by just skipping through because we've already tested each bit one by one, and then we're going to see if this unlocks the next level. So let's go into the hub and let's just set up our hub world a little bit so we can delete old mate Jack from over there. We can also delete his nav mesh and the nav mesh recast volume because we don't need that anymore. We can leave everything else. I think we might delete the sphere reflection capture. We don't need that at the moment. So let's delete all these portals except for maybe one of them. Actually, no, let's leave and delete that, and then we'll just add in a new one. So we can just set it up all from scratch. Level to open is going to be called L1. Portal level is 1. Text to display can be level 1. Text color can be black. And starting transform is 0, 0, and 200. That's beautiful. That's perfect. Okay, so when you spawn into the game, that is going to be right in front of you like that. And then over here to its right is we're going to have L2, portal level 2, text to display level 2. Oops. And if I hit play, one of them's unlocked and the next one is locked, and the level name is invisible because that was how we set up the portals. Okie dokie, so let's go open level, main menu, hit play, delete our save data. So when you open up the game, this is how it's going to look to the player. Alright, in we go. Now both of them are locked, because what we didn't set up was the ability to unlock the very first level by default. So we need to go to main menu, go into graph, up here. Now, when we're setting up this checkpoint save game here, something that we might do over here. Actually, you know what? We might just do it down here like this. We need to drag off of this new save game before we save it. So let's just drag the saves over here like that. So we're going to drag off of this and we're going to say set highest level unlocked. And we're going to just set that to 1. Just like that. And then we can do the same for the other branch up here as well. Okay, now that should have level 1 unlocked by default now. So if we delete the save, hit play. Alright, we got level 1 unlocked and level 2 is locked, and nothing will happen when you walk inside. Alright, here we go. Here we are, level 1. Now in 5 seconds, we teleport to the finish, get to the end. And now we've got level 2 unlocked. And we can walk into level 2. And we're in level 2. Alright, that's everything, ladies and gentlemen. That's how you create your levels. You can create as many as you want. Send them to me so that I can watch them and play them or whatever. Show me videos if you end up using this tutorial and create your own games. Go ahead and create other enemies as well. Create other kinds of crazy shit to dodge. Seriously, just go nuts with it, and I'd love to see what you guys come up with. Hope you enjoyed this series. This is basically the end, I guess. I might make another couple, but this is the bulk of the work done, and we've got a fully functioning game essentially here. Like, it's very basic, obviously, with the materials and all of that, but the gameplay is not too bad. You might need to build a tutorial if you actually wanted to teach people how to play this. So, like, to do that, you just create like a little pop-up widget box that when they walk through it, as they're going through a level, it'll just tell them what to do. So like press space to jump, and then you'll have a platforming challenge. You can teach them to use C to fast fall, or to double jump, or like any of that. Hey, we didn't use the double jump mechanic, did we? Yeah, that's alright. Anyway, I'm going to leave that here, guys. If you have any questions about any of that, I know this was a long one, but hopefully that was pretty fun and showed you the potential of what you could potentially create with this whole system that we've got going. I'll probably have another couple of videos rather, where we might just brush up a couple of final things, but yeah, that's the bulk of it done. So hope you enjoyed that, guys, and I'll see you next time.